God, and you can have spiritual communion with God, but you wouldn't have prayers for healing.
Because there's no interaction.
There's no interaction. So you wouldn't pray for healing. You wouldn't pray for the transformation of organizations and the principalities and powers being brought to heel to God's will, because they're not connected. Now, in the integral worldview, this circle with a spiral going to the heart, God is already present in everything and to everything. And we are already then connected to everybody and everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, the self even has to be reconceived. We can't have this American individualistic self anymore. Mm-hmm. We have to go back to the tribal understanding of the self. Mm-hmm. The self is connected with every other self. The self is coterminous with the universe.
Living and dead.
And living and dead, even putting it in that perspective. Mm-hmm. And therefore, prayer becomes the most natural, is as natural as breathing or drinking water or eating food. I mean, we are connected to everyone. And so our prayers are simply reflection on that connectedness and a calling on the God who's already here present to bring transformation into that situation. So it seems to me that the integral worldview offers us a freshness in prayer and in religious experience, in mysticism, in the inner reality of the experience of God and its expression in the world, its capacity to transform the very structures and systems and powers and bodies of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that.
And you can see how these worldviews would affect a lot of other things. For example, our attitude toward our bodies. The mind is good, the spirit is good, but the body is evil. Mm-hmm. In the spiritualistic worldview.
Our preachers used to preach to young people a lot from Corinthians about, know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Mm. And if we could find a way to teach that lesson well, the implications are numerous. Mm-hmm. Number one, you do not contaminate this body with anything which is injurious to it, whether or not it's food that you should not have, or whether it is drugs taken in a way that would be destructive. Secondly, your sexuality. Your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. Live so that the expression of your sexuality is compatible with the occupancy of the divine spirit in your life. And your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and your sister's body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. How dare you hit her? How dare you abuse her? Don't you know when you hit her, you knocking up on God? What's your problem?
Then in the materialistic worldview, there is no spiritual world. So you can use the earth any way you want to. You can exploit it for whatever needs you have because there's no tomorrow, in a sense. I mean, there's no ultimate place the universe is headed toward. Mm-hmm. So that the exploitation of the earth is really intrinsic to materialism. Now, in the theological worldview, heaven and earth are not connected, and so the implications of an ecological theology will not be felt very profoundly here. Mm-hmm. The earth is somebody else's business. Mm-hmm. We're taking care of the theological world. But in the integral worldview, once again, that spiral coming down, coming to the center of the core of everything, that could be a picture of the earth taken from outer space, that wonderful picture that the astronauts brought back. Right. That is the emergent integral worldview being shown to us. Our globe is one total system. Mm-hmm. Everything is connected to everything else. And God is in all of it.
Yes.
God's not somewhere off in Andromeda or somewhere sending, occasional messengers down to talk to folks about things. God's already there in everything. Mm-hmm. And everything declares the glory of God. Mm-hmm. And everything, therefore, is the glory of God manifested in life. And the beauty of the universe, then, is a part of what's at stake in the ecological struggle, because every time a plant or an animal or an insect or a bird goes extinct, the world loses some of its beauty. And it's the beauty of the world that makes us love God. Mm.
So it seems urgent to help churches understand that the worldview defines everything. It defines whether we will be able to see what is in fact reality around us. Mm-hmm. It defines how we understand ourselves and who God is in the midst of all that's happening. It's not sort of a minor theological, academic, intellectual debate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're the first generation in the history of the world who have had the chance to make a conscious choice of worldviews. It's a remarkable thing to think about. I mean, we can actually say, you know, I'm tired of being the way the materialistic worldview has been pushing me around and telling me that God can't answer prayers because God doesn't exist and so forth. I'm not going to live in that worldview any longer. I'm tired of being alienated from my body and treating it as a thing. You know, I want to live in a worldview that's integral, you know, to be able to make those choices.
Do any of these worldviews still have a grip on you, even though you don't believe in them anymore? How about materialism?